So we need to talk about the recreation, $500,000. I'm assuming that's part of the phasing that we want to get into.
This is another really straightforward thing, which is, we totally understand. We don't want to burden you with extra stuff. On the other hand, if you blow up, we want to have, gotten something for the pain that we put ourselves and you and everyone else through. And that's something that's important to the community, given the removal of the tennis courts.
And what I've suggested is that Kurt come up with a plan. And I told Lisa that we have some kind of CIP plan for the Parks Department, and based on that, if he needs $200,000 in 2 years, it doesn't have to be the whole amount, but we use it as he comes up with plans that are appropriate. Is that fair to say, Lisa?
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to wait 10 years. We don't want to get enough to buy a can of tennis balls, and tell everybody about it.
I think we were fine with that last time. I think it's a good approach.
Okay. Yes.
Can I ask a question? It might be rhetorical. It might be. What would be wrong in concept if this council put together the wish list of contributions that we did, instead of just responding to this ever-changing list of phases and timing and everything else? If we just said, listen, this is what we need, and it's going to cost you, whatever it is, $4 or $5 million, whatever it is, and you just have to load this into your front-end costs. That's what it's going to be.
The response I would say is that I think we're kind of doing that in a way, but it depends on when. When you say front end, does that mean we're paying an option to be able to do this? Some of it we would prefer very strongly to have it tied to some of the construction.
Specific phases.
Yeah. That's the.
But I think the problem for us is that the further this is pushed out, the higher the need to get some of this tied up ahead of time. It really is. And
can I ask which of the? Are we talking about things that aren't on the table now, or are we?
No, we're not talking about things that aren't on the table now. We're just talking about the timing of it. And to me, it seems to be a little bit counterintuitive to have a group here that's contemplating a project well in excess of $100 million. And I realize you've gone through a tremendous amount of expense from the starting date to where we are today. But in order to satisfy the people of the city, if it is a few $1 million more of front-end load to satisfy the public benefit here, it seems to me that is not out of line with the scope and scale of the project.
If you got 50, I kind of understand where Larry's come from. If you got $50 million in, which is probably right, and you've promised the city amenities on the order of $2.5 million, or that's 5% of the project. It's not ridiculous to ask that those be toward the front end.
I think we're willing to do that. I think we're willing to do it in here. If you're talking about writing a check right now, that's a problem.
No. So we're saying philosophically, for example, we will change this recreation section.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
So as you firm up your concept, which we're all open-minded, interested to see it, it might even be more interesting than the original thing. All we're asking is, I think we're sending a pretty clear signal. A few of these things, and they are not big bucks things in the context of your project. We really want to be able to deliver to constituents now. And you have residents down in this area. Recreation, river restoration are things that matter to them, and we're going to be disrupting their lives over a long period of time. And it's so anyway, enough said.
comments from council?
Not for me.
Staff, did you guys want to add anything else? Okay, I'm going to open the public comment.